Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Shanika. I pray and hope and all that good stuff that y'all are having a blessed, wonderful day. Welcome to my channel. Y'all, today I got another story for y'all, and it's called Queen of Denial. But first, I'm going to read an excerpt for you guys from Jeremiah chapter 40, verses 2 through 3. And it reads, When the commander of the guard found Jeremiah, he said to him, The Lord your God decreed his disaster for this place. And now the Lord has brought it about. He has done just as he said he would. Y'all, they thought God was playing. All this happened because you people sinned against the Lord and did not obey him. Y'all, God don't play. His mercy and grace runs out. And when you sit here and keep saying, I'm gonna keep doing what I want to do, and I'm gonna put God on hold, but you go to church, listen to worship music, go to Bible study, but walk outside and still follow your will and be in disobedience to God. And then when that judgment comes, when he take your money, he take your relationships, he takes your health, he takes your jobs, he starts taking stuff away from you, and you go run to him like, Lord, please give it back. And he's like, but you in disobedience. You still doing what you want to do. Y'all, don't play with God, because he can come at any moment and start subtracting things from your life because you're playing around with him and in disobedience. Read Jeremiah and Isaiah and y'all will see God don't play, okay? And you can pray to him while you in your pit, and he gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna help you get out this pit. But you got to surrender those things of the world, and that's something a lot of people don't want to do. They still want to be toxic. They still want to be negative. They still want to have addictions and fornications and all the stuff in Galatians 5:19. I'm just saying. I was guilty of it, y'all. I'm just saying. Anywho, this story is called Queen of Denial. Have you ever ignored specific warnings and then faced the consequences? Me. You should have seen it coming. In fact, you did. I don't know how many times people done warned me and told me not to do things, and I didn't do it, and I've got them consequences. And I have done the same to a lot of people, have given them those warnings, and they ignored me, and they received them consequences. It's not fun. But you just drifted along on your raft of denial like a complacent Queen Cleopatra drifting on her barge down the Nile. Before you knew it, it was too late. Jeremiah's hometown was in ruins. Jerusalem had fallen, just as God said it would. The most important religious symbols of the Jews had been desecrated. Everything Jeremiah's nation stood for was devastated. And according to the commander of the guard who released Jeremiah from his chains, even Israel's enemies knew that Jerusalem's destruction was because of the people's disobedience. For generations, God had warned the Israelites that if they let themselves slide spiritually, they would suffer as a nation. He called them back to himself as king after king led the people further away from their spiritual roots, following behind the wrong people and not God. He sent prophets like Jeremiah with messages that were both harsh and hopeful. So, you got them people coming and telling you, putting that mirror in your face, telling you about yourself, and then you in denial that that's you. And you say, that ain't me. You don't know who you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. And then you go off on them, or you slander their name, talk about them like a dog, even though God sent them to send that message to you. You ain't want to hear it, right? I'm guilty of that. Through these prophets, God practically begged his people to repent. They had seen it coming, but it was too late now. There is hope after this kind of judgment, y'all. I've seen it. I'm living it right now. But the road back is long and hard. Yes, it is. I spent months bawling to the Lord, surrendering, crying, taking accountability. It was long and hard. It's like the longer you hold off on surrendering the world and surrendering your life to God, the older you get, the harder it's going to be because you're stubborn. The citizens of Jerusalem did return 70 years later. Y'all want to take that long? Y'all want to stay in a pit? Y'all want to go through your hardships for 70 years because you just disobeying the Lord? Because you want to stay in your toxic behaviors? Y'all, it's not worth it. I stayed in my toxic behaviors for 40 years. I've been rocking with the Lord for 2.5 years. I ain't going back ever, and can't nobody take me there. I cut you off before you try to drag me down and take me back there. So do y'all want to be in that wilderness for 70 years, in that pit, suffering because you're in disobedience to the Lord? Those who had been carried away as children were old by the time they began to rebuild their country. What warnings about tomorrow are you not heeding today? What river of denial are you whitewater rafting on? Are you thinking God will overlook your trifling with his commands? God will discipline us because he loves us. He would no more let us get away with our destructive behavior than good parents would overlook rebellion. Don't let complacency keep you from action. You're comfortable where you at. You're like, nah, I don't want to change. Nah, I don't want to let that go because I don't know what's on the other side. God is on the other side. Don't sit there and take out behind the church, listen to worship music, don't say, order my steps. Asking the Lord to order your steps, and when he starts telling you to step and move, you say, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to take that step. I ain't ready to take that step. You in disobedience now. Trying to tell you. More than likely, something in your life, a thought pattern, an attitude, or an action needs adjustment today so that you can stay on the path God has for you. You've been thinking about addressing it, wondering if it was God's voice you were hearing. Don't stay in denial. Respond today to avoid repercussions tomorrow. Y'all, you have to take accountability. If you keep sitting there saying, I don't know why I'm in my pit, I don't know why I'm in this darkness, you're in denial. Start reflecting over your life, because just because you did something 20 years ago, God is patient, y'all. He will wait 20 years to punish you. Look in Jeremiah, he gave them, for Jeremiah, it says that he had been warning those people for 23 years, and they ignored him. It took God 23 years, and then he started putting that wrath on them. So start reflecting, oh, Lord, I done did this, and it done caught up with me. But it's not you having to go back to people. It's you having to go to God. Y'all know how Catholics go to priests for confession? Yeah, you're supposed to go to God for confession. Lord, okay, let me now take accountability for my attitude, my toxicity, my bad habits, the things I've done in the past, the people that I've hurt. Let me start now at recognizing and acknowledging that I've done these things and get out of denial that I did those things, that I was that person. I no longer want to be that person. But in order for me to move forward, to become the person you want me to be, Lord, I must recognize that person and let that person go and those things. You can't remain toxic. God is not going to allow you to come into his kingdom and be toxic, which is why you have to shed those things, y'all. And it does take time. It does. And I put here in Luke chapter 12, verse 51, it talks about Jesus came to divide. Okay? When Jesus comes to visit you, he is choose. It's me or it's mischief. Don't sit here and say you're a follower of me, and when I tell you the things that you need to do that requires you to be with me, you sit there and say you don't want to do that, but then go around portraying and saying that you are a follower of me, but your lifestyle doesn't reflect it. Reflection question number 1. When have you specifically ignored warning signs and faced consequences as a result? The first 40 years of my life. Okay, and about the 20 years of my adulthood. Hot mess. Number 2. In what ways has God spoken to you when you strayed off the path he set out for you? Think about that. Y'all, he sent people to me. I've seen it in movies, shows, music. Oh, he done came to me so many times, and I ignored him. And I will admit, I didn't know what I was supposed to be looking for. I had no idea. I had no clue. I didn't. Number 3. What area related to obedience do you struggle with the most? So y'all start looking at your lives right now, reflecting. And where are you disobeying God? And first it requires you to look and read his word. Read his word to see what he requires of you, what is expected of you. You can go to Galatians 5:19 and 5:22. If you are still participating in those things, you are in disobedience. And if you are struggling with those things, y'all, God is asking you to surrender it to him. Meaning stop today, let it go, and walk with God. If it's an addiction to something, that is going to take time, but you must surrender to God. And what God will do is place people in your life. He might say, hey, you need to go to therapy, you need to go to rehab. If you are toxic, gossiping, then that will require you to not be around people that's gossiping. If you are around those people, you need to start just listen, tighten them lips up. If you have bad spending habits, if you are fornicating, you got boyfriends, girlfriends, you out there spreading that thing all over the place, stop it. You're in disobedience. So if those are the things that you're struggling with, y'all got to surrender it to the Lord. Get on those hands and knees and confess. Take accountability. I am this person. I have done these things and I don't want to do it anymore. Lord, help me. Make it detestable to me. And watch him work. Watch him move. I'm telling you. I had to surrender some heavy surrendering to my toxic negative behaviors, and it was not easy. But every day I put one step in front of the other. I surrendered to the Lord. I stopped watching TV. Stopped hanging around negative people. Those negative thoughts, I surrendered to the Lord. I started reading his word more and more. Worship music. It is work, but you must seek him every single day, and he's going to guide you and show you exactly what it is that you need to do. I'm a living witness. I'm trying to tell you. I thank y'all so much for tuning into my channel. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I pray y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. Bye. I love you.